we've got 6 trucks all down. Hang on, Brandon. Keep it off the wall. Oh, boy.
Watch out now. These banks are self-cleaning.
Oh. Just taps it.
But even tougher break for Brandon Jones here.
What's really hard right here is you say, okay, he did a great job of saving it, which he did. But it didn't quite go far enough around. If it would have gone backwards, he could have let off the brake, gone back up the racetrack, and he'd stayed out of the wall.
It's pretty challenging here to try to, if he's spinning the corner where he did, but to not hit the wall. He does a great job not letting that truck back up into the outside wall, which could have happened. And right now, he's just along for the ride. He's got the brakes locked up at the very last instant. It just noses in. But I'll bet you he'll be able to probably fix this truck. I don't think it hit very hard, guys.
I don't think so either.
No, it just taps it down there. Jennifer Jo Cobb has spun her truck coming off of turn number 4 here at the Lucas Oil 200 Dover International Speedway, and she climbs out of the truck okay, but frustrated. She was running 28th at the time, and she's not happy with somebody.
No, she's definitely voicing her displeasure.
Looks like maybe Tyler Reddick.
Looks like Tyler Reddick, possibly with a 19 truck. He would be lapping Jennifer Jo Cobb. Let's see if we can take a look at what happens here, Ralph.
He's that blue truck running in 2nd place, and he's right behind her here. Well, hard to tell from that angle if there was contact, but
either a little contact or maybe a little arrow loose for Jennifer.
Clear left. Easy, stay high. You're clear to the bottom. Yellow's out.
Or his truck being so close may have gotten her a little bit loose, and then she had to pedal out of the throttle a little bit, and then he made contact.
Chevrolet. First caution of the day. We'll be right back to the Monster Mark. Yellow of the day, and it's an incident involving Tyler Reddick and Jennifer Jo Cobb. So did he or didn't he touch the 10? Let's listen in.
Truck, I saw it, lost it with the air. Good job. I think she thinks you hit her, man, but she doesn't realize she had a bunch of left wheel put in it, and she's trying to get out of the way, and she got loose. So
practice and know that that's going to happen.
Oh, 23 truck having issues here. Spencer Gallagher spinning the Allegiant backed machine around. Second caution of the day.
He was up in the top 15, having a pretty decent run for Gallagher. He's running in the 13th spot. See if we can see what happens. You see, just got a little bit loose up high. See Johnny Sauter, Daniel Hemrick do a great job getting by him on the inside.
Let's watch from Hemrick's view as he was right behind him here.
24-49.
Well, that's close.
Just got
Clear. You see this. Good job.
Yeah, that's when it happens right in front of you. You do have an opportunity to see it. If that happens on or on the corner a little bit, those guys would have been blind going in there.
Crafton sits right there, and we've got 2 together. Jesse Little in the 97 involved, and we got more contact. Deeper in the field, Townley involved. This 63 is in there with Justin Jennings. Mason Mingus was involved as well, and we've got our 3rd caution.
See if we can take a look at what happens here. See Jesse's on the inside. Looks like did he push up a little bit and got into Mason Mingus and then squeezes him into the outside wall?
I think a little bit of both, Phil. I think he pushed up into him. When he got up into him, he lost all that side force on that truck and they got loose.
Caution once again here as Jesse Little gets into the 15, and they both hit the wall.
See, take another look at it. Looked like Mason Mingus was on the outside. Jesse Little looked like Todd. He may have pushed up a little bit, had to chase his truck up the hill just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly, Phil. I think, you know, he saw Mason slide up in the middle of the corner, and he wanted to take advantage of it. So he tried to drive down there, and Mason came down. At the same time, Jesse was pushing. Then he got air loose, sucked around, and there you go, both in the wall. You know, that's one of those things at Dover. Jesse doesn't have a lot of experience here. Mason doesn't have very much either.
For the caution.
You see that?
Outside. Hang on, door here.
They were really close.
Mason had pushed up the hill, and Jesse was trying to go for the spot. You can't fault the kid for that, you know. And that's just one of the things that happens at Dover. I mean, it just tightens down on exit. You know, Mason wants to come down, get a straighter shot off. He's been around the sport a long time. He knows this kid's good.
Jones right there behind him.
Just a little bit of a wiggle, and you just run out of room at this racetrack. The corners are so tight on exit, he just ran out of the room.
Watching from the back of Blaney's truck. There you go.
Just a slight wiggle, had to use a little bit of racetrack up.
They're trying to find something.
Oh, yellow out once again, and it's the 54 of Austin.
These trucks rely so much on side force that, yeah, there you go. No, it looks like he pushed up into him. You know, but there again, yeah, he pushed. You got to know enough to roll out of the throttle and wait for the next lap.
We talked about being in trouble off the corner. It really happens into the center of the corner. That's a perfect case of that, as Spencer Gallagher does a nice job in that blue 23 to avoid the 50.
It's been a wild one already here at the Monster Mile. We'll have more when we come back.
A little bit of contact there between he and Timothy Peters. Let's see what happens when he gets down here to the, just a little bit loose. I don't see that left rear tire deflated. Do you, Todd?
No, I don't think that's what happened. It looked to me, he got down in the middle of the corner. You can see one little wiggle before he overcorrects it, gets it back right there. Well, can't see it from there, but it just got around on him. You know, that's part of Dover.
You know, they had Corbin Forrester on the inside of them there in the 08 tilted kilt truck. It might have changed his line of entry a little bit, you think, as he was coming in, because he was dealing with Peters, and maybe that just altered it a little bit.
That's very possible. You know, when you enter up high, it's less of a radius. We'll have to see right here.
See,
yep, there it is.
Yeah.
And right front.
Right front tire deflates. Nothing he can do about it. Just along for the ride.
And I'd been watching Timothy's times, and he'd slowed down. He was trying to save that thing. He'd slowed down about half a second the last 4 or 5 laps. He probably felt that tire was starting to cord, starting to go away, and you know, after a few laps, there's just nothing you can do about it.
Quickest yesterday with the trucks.
Trouble.
And we have a problem here on the front straightaway. That's the 13 of Carl Long.
Carl was into the outside wall with that.
He lost some tungsten a while ago. He lost something else again. It hit me.
Oh, no. That will end the session with only a couple of minutes left on the clock.
You can see the problem started in the outside wall. Chase Elliott slows down there, and then it ends on the inside. And this, we talk about this all the time at Dover. Self-cleaning track. You hit the outside
That's not
wall,
a good thing.
No, it's not good at all.
Now, listening
Did he hit
to
something?
him, he said somebody lost some weight. They call it tungsten. That's what we heard him say. Carl Long said, somebody lost some weight, and I hit it.
See if we can see some debris.
Oh, yeah. See the smoke hit the track?
And then
right
bam.
there. That is weight bouncing and making marks on the concrete. He hits it.
It must have. Then there's fluid from under his car, so maybe it busted his radiator. And
I'll be darned.
that's
So-
unfortunate
so-
for us.
These guys only have a limited amount of tires that they can choose from, and until they get that rubber laid back all the way across the racetrack, it's going to be slick.
39, Ryan Sieg goes around a couple of laps in. Looks like it'll be a single car incident. Sieg able to keep it off the wall. First caution of the day comes out 2 laps complete. Sieg running in the 22nd position.
Yeah, they were right in the middle of the pack, Adam, and there are 2 or 3 cars involved in this. See what starts it. Sieg dives to the bottom of Jamie Dick going into the turn, clips him.
Boy, that's a nice save by the 55.
Yeah, that was a heck of a save. And remember, Kevin, these, I mean, why am I reminding you? You were just doing it. Into the corner to 165 miles an hour and somebody hooks you?
Yeah, and it's hard on the starts because when they start jamming up like that, that was just a good old traffic jam right there.
But you want to see what started all this. This is in turn 2 the lap before. Dick gets into the back of the 39 car, Ryan Sieg. Ryan didn't take too kindly to that.
Yeah, and then he went in to just try to return the favor, and then he checked up thinking he was going to spin out and got himself spun out when that rubber starts going around. Oh, man.
That's a crash.
There goes Brian Scott hard into the wall. Third caution of the day.
Get in under the 22.
Oh!
Seen that. Gonna be on the hood.
Wow. Scott sliding down the racetrack and pounded by the 55 of Jamie Dick.
Yeah, and that's just a classic situation of what we've been talking about all day. You get underneath that car and it gets in the corner and it gets loose, and you have to run it up the racetrack to save it. And unfortunately for Brian, in the 22 and the 55 caused a big wreck.
gets a little bit loose on the exit. It gives Brian Scott the inside.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't really know what happened there, but they made contact before they got to the corner. It's like the 22 came down a little bit and got into the side of the 2, but that started for the 22 in turn 4 when he touched the apron. And when he touched the apron right there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't really tell what looked like. Maybe the 22 just went to turn in the normal corner, and Brian was still going straight a bit.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like the 22 came down and got into the side of the 2, and that just caused that whole mess. Then you have Jamie Dick coming in there, and it's so hard to get stopped when you're going this fast.
Now, we talk about Dover being a self-cleaning racetrack, and with that banking, when you're up high, you're going to slide down low. And with oncoming traffic, as you said, there's just nothing you can do. Hoping for a better effort today. Under caution for the 3rd time, a hard hit in turn 2 here at Dover.
And here's an incident which just brought out the caution. We're under currently a 3-lap wreck, and Brian Scott getting the worst of it.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney and Brian Scott battling for 8th right there, and you're also going to see Jamie Dick in the 55 come in and just hit Brian Scott. The good news, all drivers were okay.
Those have been interesting today. 3rd caution of the afternoon, a big impact for Brian Scott and Jamie Dick when he went around.
Oh, that's another example of getting loose on the inside of another car, racing alongside David Starr there. Wow, Brennan Poole really does a nice job of slipping under the spinning Sieg and missing the crash.
And you'll see right here when the jack drops, it's Carl's sign to leave, and the crew member's trying to get it out of the back window, but just doesn't do it. I mean, that's as much of an effort as you can give as a crew member trying to get that wrench out. And right now, Sam Hornish Jr., and we've got a caution, I think.
Trevor Bain down at turn 1. He spins, and looks like Michael Annett and Michael Annett piles in, and Justin Allgaier to Trevor Bain's spin. Watch the number 6 coming off turn 4 here.
Right back here, and looks like Trevor tries to move up.
Yep, Michael
46, Annett was there. Hits that inside wall hard.
And Annett gets tagged by his teammate Allgaier.
Allgaier was right on top of him and ran the back of the 46. It's just so hard, man, when you come off a corner 2 or 4, it's so hard to clear that guy on the outside, man. You're just never quite sure. And wasn't enough room.
Trevor Bain getting up and into Michael Annett, and then collecting that car, the 51 of Justin Allgaier.
I think possibly some of the drivers at the back of the lead lap drivers will come to pit road and get 4 fresh tires.
There you see right there. I mean, it was just contact off turn 4 with the 6 and the 46. Allgaier was back here. I'm not sure. Yeah, he just 51 could not get woed up and ran the back of the 46.
Mike, you talked about it. The straightaways banked here more than some corners, especially like at our other 2 one-mile tracks we go to.
Yeah, I mean, it's self-cleaning. The cars just go down the hill just like that when anything happens. So we call them self-cleaning. I guess that's as good an explanation as any. Looked like just from what we saw here they come back here into turn 3, and it looks like Kyle just gets in the corner really hot with that 33 on the outside, and he got into him.
Right front failure to me of some sort,
Yeah,
because Kyle isn't going to go in there with all that momentum and carry those 2 cars that hard into the outside wall. Brian Scott was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The lap time of Jimmy Johnson, the leader, Martin Truex.
Well, trouble on the back straightaway. Boyer got into the back of Denny Hamlin.
Around he
goes Hamlin.
Hamlin's
And
going
now
to
the
clean off
41
the
car's
banking.
in trouble going into turn 3.
Kurt Busch off the wall, and miraculously, all those onrushing cars at 160 miles an hour all missed Denny Hamlin.
You see back here, Mike, the 15 right here. He gets up under the 11 car and just gets into him, and it sits Denny Hamlin sailing right here. He loses it. I thought he had it, but he got down on the inside and must have got dirt, trash on his tires, and back up in the track he went.
Miraculously, everybody missed him, but further down track, Kurt Busch spun up and into the wall.
Oh, boy. Cautions. Breed.
You see Hamlin.
That's how Kurt Busch got involved in the 41.
Hamlin had to steer so hard to get away from that inside wall that it turned him around and into the outside.
Yes, sir.
Gosh. And everybody misses. There's the choke point of this track right there. Turn 2 under the bridge.
Ooh, man, the 41 car just barely hit the back of it, enough to turn him around and into the fence. Everybody's scrambling here. Scrambling to miss Hamlin. Oh, trouble in turn 4. Trouble. 13 car
Casey
got
Mears.
He was slow, and the 16 car got into him.
He got tagged by Biffle and then got caught up with Allmendinger.
You'll see right here the 16 car Biffle on the outside. 13 smoking up here. He's slow, and Biffle just gets into him, spins him out. And then
Mike, this will be the first green-white checkered that we have had here in a spring race in a long time. We've not had one at all in the last 10 spring races.
But doesn't it make you sick to run all day long? I mean, here you are with 5 or 6 laps to go, and then you have all this trouble, and you end up like you'd never even been here.
Well, all Mears was trying to get to do was get to the finish. So was Austin Dillon down on the apron. Kurt Busch ran a couple laps down on the apron.
I think he was actually trying to get up out of the way. The 13 was. He was smoking. I don't know what his problem was, but then Biffle just came in there.
But how many times, Darrell, do we see a lap car trying to get out of the way, puts himself right in harm's way?
Yeah, I mean, Casey Mears, he didn't have any options. There was traffic below him. He was just trying to move up the hill out of the way, and it didn't work.
Oh, here we see it. Jordan Taylor down to the inside. Ooh. Just talking to the Taylor boys yesterday about GTD traffic, they talk about Townsend doesn't give you an inch. I said, we discussed the various GT drivers out there, and they said Townsend will not give us any room. And I'm not putting the blame on Townsend's shoulders there, because Jordan was being pretty aggressive, but we talked about it yesterday.
Another crazy run through turns 1 and 2. And behind, Bruno Junqueira crashes. He's run into by Tom Kimber-Smith in a pair of prototype challenge cars. Meanwhile, the GT Daytona of Andy Lally also suffered damage on the tire wall.
It's going to be here or in turn 7. Don't see any traffic immediately in front of them.
Oh, around goes the 5.
Turns. Unbelievable. Can you believe that? He wasn't attempting to move or anything. And question is, where is Negri and Joey Hand? Exactly. They're coming up quickly here. Here's Negri. There's Negri. Oh, Negri and Hand are going to pinch those final podium spots away.
Now there's the accident scene. We'll show you what replay we have. The key car involved in the incident was the 007.
The 23 car just won the race there, Mario Farnbacher.
Right.
Look in the background there. James Davison has lost control of that Aston Martin as he hits the wall. There's a safety truck there, which I think was trying to come out onto the racetrack thinking the race was over to attend to the 58 car that still remains parked down there in the turn 1 area. So I'm not sure if that safety worker just peeked his nose out a little bit early thinking everything was good to go. But Davison had lost control, and then just unfortunate circumstances there, Bob.